The crazy thing is, instead of doing 2 bedrooms, they
Right.
want 5, 6,
5, 6,
7.
right.
Right? And then it will take them 15 years
Right.
to build that. And then
Right.
when you go to New York, you go to the Bronx, they sleep in a small room, right? Eating trash,
Right.
and they don't take good care of themselves. They spend 25 years
Right.
trying to live within the image of me back Ghana, or when I come back home,
Right.
I'll be able to live in this mansion. And then when
Right.
you come back home, you're already weak and old enough.
Right.
You can't even take care of the whole
Property.
place. So,
Right.
I mean, I would say invest your money in businesses, start businesses when there's enough cash flow.
Right.
You can go buy a house at Cantonment.
Right.
The lands are not going anywhere.
Right.
It will be there.
Right.
When you have enough money, a $1 million house will not be too expensive for you. Hi guys, my name is Daniel Kofi, also known as Alone with God. I'm the co-founder of Impala CRM, and I'm on Root and Route podcast. You guys should check it out.
What's up, everybody? This is your boy KP, aka Ghana Boy, aka Prince. I'm here with Kofi, also known as Alone with God.
Alone with God.
Yes. So today we're gonna have a couple conversations. He's a diasporan, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So you moved to Ghana.
Yeah, I moved to Ghana 2025.
You came in 2025?
Yeah, this year, March.
Okay. So this is not your first time in Ghana, right?
No. I mean, I moved 2017, and I mean, since then I've been coming back every year.
Okay, so you moved to the States in 2017?
Yeah.
For the first time ever?
For the first time.
Okay, what took you to the States?
School.
School?
Yeah.
Okay, where'd you go to school?
Cleveland State.
Cleveland State, so you went to university?
Yeah.
How many years did you do?
Oh, I mean, that was for undergrad.
Okay.
It took me longer than I was supposed to. I mean, the whole process of moving, so it took me longer than what I expected. But I mean, I graduated last year.
Okay.
But doing computer science.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And you went to SS here?
Yeah.
Where'd you go?
I went to Asamankasi.
Asamankasi.
Yeah.
Okay. I never heard of that. All right. So.
I don't think you know that place.
Nah, not yet. I will know the place.
I mean, I had to skip several schools for some reasons.
Okay. It happens. So when you tell me when you first got to the States. Well, first of all, you went specifically for school?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what, you did a visa process?
Yeah, went through the whole applying for schools. I mean, the normal process of applying for schools, getting your visa and traveling.
Right.
That same process.
What?
And then, when you get there, the process of transitioning from a student to permanent resident,
right.
And then it's a whole different
So
process.
It wasn't like your parents were there?
No, I don't have any family member.
Wow. And then you came back?
Yeah.
That's dope. That's dope.
Yeah.
So what was it like when you first got there? Like what were your expectations, and then how was it when you actually got there?
Well, the thing is, before you leave Ghana, I think we all socially have some common dreams about moving from our location to a different location, specifically the western part, because we think life is easier when you get there. You'll be able to make a lot of money because that's what we've seen on the TVs, right?
Right.
And so I don't think my goals were different from every immigrant.
Right.
So when I left, my goal was, okay, when I get there within 2-3 years, I'll make enough money after school,
right?
And then I'll come back home, and then I'll build a house,
right.
All those kind of dreams, right? But life always ends up surprising you. So things didn't happen the way I was expecting it, and it took longer than 2-3 years, so 8 years.
Okay, so we there for a total of 8 years.
Yeah, I stayed for 8 years.
Okay, so when you first went, what were some of the challenges that you had?
First of all, I was a shy person.
Okay.
With the Ghanaian culture, they train you to just be quiet,
Right.
right? You cannot express yourself. I think we interpret that as respect
Right.
and humble.
Right.
And so when you travel outside Ghana, you realize you cannot be that way. You can't go far trying to be quiet and
Right.
humble. You need to speak up and stuff.
Right.
And so with my first job, I think it was very challenging because it was more of a hospitality job, social job.
Okay.
And so you have to go out, talk to people, show them directions and those kind of stuff. And so it was a whole difficult thing for me to adjust. But I think that job changed everything for me. It helped me learn how to talk, how to approach people.
Like come out your shell.
Yeah, come out of my shell and stuff. So I think that was the most challenging thing, being able to communicate. And then when you talk, everyone keep asking, "Can you say it again? Can you
What you say?
Yeah, what you say? Can you repeat yourself?" And sometimes you just don't want to even talk again, right? So I think those were just minor issues. Aside that, the food, right? And I think it's just a common thing. When you move from one place to another, you get these uncomfortable things that you have to try to adjust to. So the food was one major issue for me. I wasn't used to the American food. I was always looking for something to eat from Ghana. And you know, with Cleveland, it's mostly a white state.
So Ohio, right?
Yeah, Ohio, right?
Is that close to Columbus?
No, Columbus is 2 hours
2 hours
away.
away?
Yeah.
'Cause I know there's a lot of Ghanaians over
In
there.
Columbus, yeah.
Yeah.
But I didn't even know.
Oh,
Yeah, I didn't even know.
It's Ghana
because-
Central.
Yeah, because I was so close-minded.
Right.
I wasn't exposed to the Ghanaian community until 2020 during the pandemic.
Okay.
That's when I knew we have a whole in Columbus, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, those were the challenges. Food, just being able to open up and speak up and be more confident. And yeah, that's it.
Okay. So one thing I find interesting about your story is that you came back. And you know, from previous episodes, I talk about how I'll meet Ghanaians, you know, in school, and I'm like, yo, like, what are you guys going back to do? And everybody's like, I'm not going back. For you, it's different because you actually came back.
Yeah.
Well, why did you come back?
I
I know it's probably a lot of different reasons, but
yeah. I mean, I don't
reason?
have one specific reason, but I like to just follow my instincts, right? So I don't have any maybe religious, like compass that guides me to what I should do and what not.
Right.
So, but I just prefer to listen to my instincts. So prior to moving, I decided to say, well, when I get there and make enough money, I'll be coming back, right? But it's very difficult to execute that thought because you end up building your whole life in the state.
Right.
If you're not lucky and you own a house, you have a family, then it's close to not being possible, right? And so for me, I was just sitting in my room one time and I was like, okay, well, now because of the job or the business that I have, I can work from anywhere, one. Two, I'm not tied to the country because I don't own a house, I don't own any asset there, right? So I can just move and go anywhere.
Right.
And so what can I do for my country? And so the idea just popped in my head to go back and start something.
Right.
And whether it works out or it doesn't work out, I'll never know. So just go ahead and give it a try. And then if nothing works out for you, you can come back and start all over again. So I was like, well, the best time is now. And so the idea came around last year, I think 4 months before me moving. And then I just decided to move.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So you were working before you came down?
Yeah.
Where were you working?
So I was working for myself.
Okay.
So I own Africa Travelers. It's a travel company. So basically we sell travel packages to people who are retired, right? They want to explore Africa, specifically Africa.
Okay.
And so I've been doing that for the past 7 years.
Okay, so
on the side.
That's anywhere in Africa?
Anywhere in Africa.
How did you make the connections to be able to do that?
Long story.
Okay, can you shorten it out? Because I'm kind of curious myself now at this point.
So before traveling, that was back in 2020, no, is it 28? And I left 2017.
Okay.
And so that was 2015, 16.
Okay.
I was bored, right? And so I decided to start using social media more.
Okay.
And I think what drew me to social media was I chanced on a video from the founder of Facebook, Mark,
Right.
and he was like, okay, he visited Kenya and he realized that African youth are not really using social media well.
Right.
And so if they can use social media well, they can actually make a lot of money from online businesses.
Right.
And so that was like, okay, what is an online business? Let me take a look into it. And so I was going to ehow.com, reading more articles on online business. It didn't make sense to me.
Right.
But for some reason, I realized, okay, maybe I should just pick a niche and start talking about that.
Right.
And so I created a Facebook account and I started talking about Ghana, like the cultures about Ghana.
Right.
And the reason why I picked that specific niche is because I was wearing some outfit, posted it on Facebook, and a white guy said, I like the outfit. What does that mean? And so I was like, oh, maybe I can talk about Ghanaian culture and stuff. Right. So I did that for some time, and then I built a huge following. About 5,000 Americans were engaging on every single post.
Right.
And so one lady from Chicago reached out to me. She was like, I'm a travel agent, and I want to plan my first trip to Ghana. I can see you have the following, and so can we work together? And I was like, okay, sure, let's do this. And so we did our first trip, and I was able to give her 20 people to sign up. And so when they came, we did a trip, everything was a success. That was my first time even knowing Airbnb existed.
Right. So what did you do? Just get the people to her and then she took care of everything?
Yeah, she took care of everything.
Okay.
So, because I wasn't exposed to itineraries and all that stuff. So she did all the planning. I just had to post the flyers and talk about everything, right?
Okay.
And so when she came, out of everything we did, I think she made about $30,000 plus.
Okay.
And she gave me $200.
What?
$200. Wow. And so when I complained, she said, "Oh, Ghana, if you change the money, it's a lot. What's there to complain?"
What are you complaining about?
Yeah, and all that stuff. So, I was like, okay, that's fine.
Right.
I'm not. It's better than none.
Right.
And then after the first trip, she came back to me asking for us to do a subsequent trip. And I was like, well, with this one, I think I'm now aware of the industry, the business. Can we split 50-50?
Right.
And she was like, oh, nah, 50-50 is too much, and I'm not gonna do that. So I was like, okay, that's fine, then we can work together.
Right.
And so from there, I decided to do my own thing.
Okay.
And so I started my own thing. I didn't even have a website. I started from Google Forms and planned my first trip.
Right.
And that's how everything
started.
Ghana? Yeah, to Ghana.
That's dope. So like, what would you do? Like, so you would get, walk me through it real quick, because I'm kind of curious how you did that.
I created a Google form just to accept the bookings.
Right.
And I talked about, if you want to come to Ghana, I have a trip planned out, right? And so I just created an itinerary for 10 days, 9 nights.
So basically where they're going to go.
Yeah, sleep and all that stuff, right? So I put everything together.
And then do you go to these places and book it for them? Or
No, so what happened was, through working with the lady, she actually connected me to some industry players, in tourism, right?
Right.
So, the existing tour companies on the ground,
right.
I'm also a local, so we ended up communicating, taking our numbers and stuff. So I was like, hey, I'm trying to plan a trip on my own.
Right.
Can you guys just maybe take out the people, do everything for me? Just let me know how much you charge for that.
Right.
And then, okay, the company said, we'll charge you $1,000 per person.
Right.
I said, okay, well, I took that price, went back to the people and resell it for like $2,000.
Right.
And so all I have to do is get the people, just leverage it to them, outsource it to them, and then make my 1,000, they take their 1,000.
Okay.
Right? And so that's how I did it. But the challenging thing was getting the payment. Because, there was lack of trust.
Right.
Before the whole Black Panther thing and stuff, people were a bit skeptical when it comes to sending money to people in Africa, right? So that was my biggest challenge. And so when I did my first group, I had 6 people, they signed up. And out of the 6 people, I just picked one person. I was like, you know what, can you take all the payment? And then when you get to Ghana, you give it to me.
Right.
So I was very I was very trusting, right?
Right.
I didn't really think otherwise. And then when she received the money, I didn't think she would run away with the money. And so one day I went to the market. My mom used to sell at Odoko Market. And then we were just talking about business. She was like, okay, what do you have going on? I said, well, I'm doing this new thing and this is how it's going. She was like, well, why will you allow her to keep the money when she receive it instead of just sending it to you right away?
Right.
Because anything can happen,
Right.
right? And I was like, wow, I didn't think about that. So I reached out to the lady to send me all the money she has received so
Right.
far. And she blocked me.
Oh.
All right, so basically she spent the money. And so I was very transparent with the 6 people, excluding her, making it 5.
Right.
And I called them. All payments were through PayPal. And you know with PayPal, if something happens, you can always hit a refund.
Yeah.
And so I called the people and I was like, hey, this is what happened. Can you request for a refund? PayPal will give you back your money.
Right.
And so everybody got their money back. And then I did look for somebody else. I took another risk again.
Right.
But this time I told her, when you take the money, can you just send it to me right away?
Right.
And so that's how I was able to move past the challenges and did my first trip.
Okay. It was successful?
Yeah, it was successful. I mean, I think with every idea, you just need to take the first step, you iterate, and then you keep changing, improving. That's how you learn.
Right.
Yeah.
Right,
So the first trip just gave me more information on what to do on the next one and what to do on the subsequent, all that stuff. So far for the past 8 years, I think we've taken about 300 or up to 500 people.
Whoa.
To Ghana, Egypt, Tanzania, Rwanda, Kenya.
So how do you get these other places? You connect with the same way with the different tour?
Yeah. So what happened was, the guy that I was working with in Ghana, he said, I think for us to make more profits, we need to buy our own like tour bus, like the travel bus. We need to do, we need to work with the hotels and stuff, right? I think he was thinking about doing solely for Ghana because I started from Ghana.
Right.
And I was like, well, at some point you realize when the people travel to Ghana and they go back, now they trust you more. They want to travel to other African countries.
Right.
But then there was a big limitation. I don't know anybody there. I have to travel there to build connection and do that. So I was like, well, maybe I should just replicate the same format in Ghana to the other countries. So I just go on Google.
Right.
I'm just giving a free information.
Right.
I go on Google, and then I search tour companies in Egypt.
Right.
I read all the reviews based on, the past customers and stuff. And then I pick one company, email them, and say, hey, I have a group of 10 people coming to Egypt.
Right.
How much will you charge me?
Right.
And they'll say, well, we'll charge you this amount. I say, well, can you come down the price? I'll keep working with you. We're a travel company, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
And then we come up with a deal. I'll say maybe a long-term deal. And then from there, I trust them, right? I try to not think too negative because sometimes most of the first companies, I'll send $30,000 to them without meeting them. Till now, most of the companies we've never met in person, and we've been working for 8 years just by trusting them.
Wow. And
so now I can sit here and plan trips to all the 54 countries without being there.
Oh, wow. That's dope. We're going to have to do some business. Yeah,
I'm
definitely have to have them on the app, Tango app.
I'm open.
Definitely. So that's what you was doing. Were you doing that while you were in school too?
Yeah. So I think that's what delayed my graduation.
Okay.
And so it got to a point I had to choose school, business, and work. And sometimes it depending on the situation before you left home. And so my dad was visually impaired. My mom, the breadwinner, 2 siblings. She had to work for almost 20 years to take care of us, right? And so when you travel, you're always thinking back home. Okay, let me send money back home. Let me take care of home and stuff. And I'm the first son, so I'm like the father now. And so it wasn't like, okay, I can focus on school. I still had to work, send money back home.
Right.
And so it was very difficult. I had to drop out because, depending on the major, I think every major is difficult, but with computer science, I wasn't exposed to computers. I just picked it because I was just curious.
Right.
And some of the materials were very difficult for
Right.
me. And so I had to drop out and then work for a while. And then whilst working, I was doing the business on the side.
Right.
So around like 20...
Wait, so you were working somewhere else?
Yeah, I was doing a 9 to 5.
But where?
I mean, in Cleveland.
Yeah, like where? Where were you working? Like, was it
Oh,
McDonald's?
no. So okay. So that downtown Cleveland Alliance. It's like a nonprofit company.
Okay.
And what we did was most of the businesses downtown, they try to keep it clean, safe, and stuff.
Right.
And so they outsource those services from that company or that business.
Right.
And they hire us to provide those services.
Okay.
So my role was to initially, I started as a safety ambassador. So it's like you patrol the town, make sure anything you see, either you call the police or you document that stuff, right?
Right.
And then within 8 months, I was promoted to like the shift supervisor.
Okay.
And so I was doing that job for like 3 years, and then doing the business on the side,
Okay.
and then going to school.
Right.
I started going to school for like 2-3 years, and then went back.
Right.
And so I was juggling between those 3 things until I got fired from the job, and I said, well,
What did you get fired for?
for not being productive.
Okay.
Yeah, because you do every day, every week 4 assignment, and you have to finish on time, and then you have to show up. I was on night shift, so you know how night shift is. You get back, you barely get time to sleep,
Right.
and then you continue the next day,
Right.
and then business. So it was just terrible. So when I show up at work, I'll just be sleeping,
Be haggard.
hiding, sleeping, and there's like, well, we have to let you go.
Right.
And after that, I said, well, it's hard to look for a new job.
Right.
I'm just gonna spend the 8 hours I used to spend at the job on the business. And that's what changed everything for me.
Okay.
From there.
So I'm assuming you made more money and then you were able to go back to
Oh
school.
yeah, I made the most money in my entire life that year.
Oh, wow.
In my entire life.
Okay.
By doing the business full time.
Right.
And so I made the most money. I can't talk about the
How
amount,
much
but
you
the
made,
most
but
money.
made
Yeah.
enough. Right.
Yeah.
So then I'm assuming you go back to school.
Yeah, I went back to school to
Finished.
finish. Yeah.
Right, got your
And
degree.
so the thing is, when I went back to school, I think before I went back to school, whilst I was still at home working, I was still learning, right? Learning the materials, coding, programming, building different projects and all that stuff. So when I went back to school, everything seemed so like easy, right? And so like I was just skimming through the courses.
Right.
Sometimes I don't even have to show up because most of the stuff they are teaching, it's not like I know it on a theory level, but even on the core practical level,
Right.
I've used it over and over again.
Right.
So everybody thought I was an exceptional student.
Right.
In my class, they come to me thinking I'm some smart guy, but it's because
Right.
maybe I took 3 years break and learned everything in the house before
Right.
going back.
Going in.
Yeah.
Okay. So then now you decide you have to come back down and you have to do something in Ghana. You have to help the country.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so I still believe I was helping the country because prior to moving, even with the amount of money our customers pay us for us to also pay our vendors back home, it's a lot of money, right? That's a huge foreign exchange for the country because we send all the money back to Ghana, to other African countries. So I still believed I was doing much for the country in that way. Aside that, I thought about, okay, well, we don't have unicorns, right? And so when you think about companies, Fortune 500 companies, I don't see any African company on the list.
Right.
And so I was like, why? I don't know. It didn't make sense to me. So I said, well, maybe let me come back, start a tech company, because that's my background, and then hopefully I can become one.
Become that unicorn.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm assuming that tech company's Impala.
Yeah.
All right. Tell me about Impala.
So I don't know if you've been here longer than I have. And so
I'm more Ghanaian than you.
Yeah, I know. And so when you think about how Ghanaians do businesses, I think I call it shala and vibes, right? And so lack of employment, let me just sell something.
Right.
And so they are selling.
Right.
And you can see them doing it for 20 years by being at the same spot. Right. You don't see any progress.
Growth.
The business doesn't take care of them on an exponential level. So you can't see like a drastic change.
Right.
Compared to my business, where the business paid for me to visit 15 countries,
Right.
paid for me to have the most amount of money my entire life.
Right.
I mean, every single thing right now, I can do anything I can think about because of the business, right? I don't see that reflecting on the business owners in Ghana.
Right.
And the reason is they just do the business with no way to scale. And the best way to scale is if you have data to support what you're doing.
Right.
And so I thought about creating a cloud-based platform where businesses can centralize all their customer information, and then through that process, they can build a stronger relationship with their customers. Because when you think about sales, you get most of the sales from like repeating customers.
Right.
And so the reason why somebody will patronize this product and not go back again is because after buying it from you, you decided not to follow up with them. Right? You just leave them alone. They had to go figure out whether, okay, let me go back and buy again, or I've seen a new product to try. Right? And so if you can have a centralized place where, let's say periodically you can check up on your customers. You can send them your new product. You can give them discount. You can do that. Even if you don't convert 100%, you get 20% of your previous customers rebuying from you, right? And then you leave your brand on their brain. So every time they are trying to patronize a similar product, the first person they think about is you. Because every single month, you keep checking up on them. Right? And so that's the same strategy I used in my business, in my travel business, to keep almost 80% of my customers. I keep them.
Wow.
Yeah. And so, I mean, I'm just trying to, if you think about the big companies like MTN, Deloitte, all those big companies, they have the team, the marketing team to think about these things for them, right? So the structures are there. But when it comes to the SMEs, which is the backbone of all the African market, nobody's teaching them, nobody's exposing them to that kind of structure. And so now I'm just saying, hey, prioritize your customers' data. There's no way you should be doing business for 10 years and you cannot recall your first customer, the 50th one. You know, you should be able to have a way to connect back to them every single time.
Okay. How has that transferred like into the Ghanaian markets? Like, for instance, like, is it focused more on like tomato sellers, like market women? Like, who are you targeting right now, and how is it working?
Yeah, so I'll say this. I'll say this is specifically for people that run their business. I'll say 80% online.
Okay.
All right. So as long as, I mean, it depends on how you want to see it. But I think if you're running your business online, you tend to get a lot of online requests. So people reach out to you, and you know you should be able to save their data and have a way to connect back to them. So the tomato seller might not benefit. And also you can also see from this angle, most of Ghanaians are not formally educated, right? And so using a software is something tedious for them. So as long as you've been to high school and you have a business, regardless of the business, you can be a tomato seller as long as you can read and write, and you want to take tomato selling to a different level. I'm pretty sure you have vendors who come to maybe take your tomatoes to the market, right? As long as you can have a way to always stay in touch with those people, treat them well, check up on them, you know, all that stuff. Those people will always come to your shop and get their tomatoes from you.
So does Impala cater to that? Let's say that entrepreneur that wants to take it to the next level. Let's say I have a distribution center. I have all these people that I sell tomatoes to. Right. I might not have a system that I actually use like online to record. First of all, is it an app you put on your phone?
No. This is a web app.
It's a web app.
Yeah.
Okay. So I mean, I guess you would say, well, just list all of them, put their phone numbers in there and do that. Or is it a thing where the app kind of walks them through the process and then it generates like, hey, send a message to all your guys? Like, how does that work?
Yeah, so this is it. Okay, so we are not the first company or business to do this, right?
Okay.
I mean, if you have a business in Europe or in the US,
Right.
these applications exist, right? There are many of them.
Right.
But the thing is, with the westernized ones, they are more centered around emailing.
Right.
So the mode of communication between business and customers is through emails.
Right.
But then we realized in Ghana, people don't use emails.
Right.
It's through telephone numbers. And so we decided to tailor the product to the local market.
Right.
And so right now, you log into the application, you have a place where you type the customer's first name, last name.
Right.
And at least if they have an email or telephone number, you add it. That makes them unique.
Right.
And then you save it, right? And so you keep saving it every single time and you keep growing your contact list. So let's say at the end of the year, if you had 500 buyers, you have 500 contacts, right? And the application basically have different features.
Right.
And so it depends on what you want to do, which comes with training.
Okay.
Because some of the business owners, they have no idea of what to do with all that data, right? And so it becomes useless. And so that's where we come in to still educate you, even though you've signed up. I still take my time to periodically call you, set up meetings to say, hey, let's run a SMS campaign for all your customers. And so we draft a small campaign, text message, and we send that promo to them. Hey, we have 10% discount going on for this product. And we just broadcast that to all your 500 people. And so they receive the text message just like MTN will text you something on your phone and you see MTN or Momo. This will show your company name. And so it builds trust, it gives your brand exposure and so many other benefits and stuff.
So it's like it has a subscription model to it, I presume?
Yeah, so right now, I mean, it's free to use, but there's limitations. And so with the SMS, you have to pay. Enterprise level is like 1,000 Ghana cedi. And then you get up to 20,000 SMS for the year.
Oh, wow.
So with 1,000 Ghana cedi per year, you have 20,000 text messages to send.
And with that one, you still help them?
Yeah, I still help them run the campaign. But one thing I've noticed is, I mean, it takes about 2 campaigns for the business owner to say, and now I get it. You don't have to help me again. I can figure it. Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah. And then also another feature is you can segment your customers into different categories, right? And so let's say you sell a product. You have buyers who are wholesalers and buyers who are retailers, right? Something like that. So you can segment them into wholesalers and retailers. And so there are specific campaigns that you just want to send it to your loyal customers, your wholesalers, your retailers. You can just send those campaigns to them alone.
Right. Oh, that's dope. I think I might have to use that too.
Yeah.
Now, this is another question I have. So let me ask you, what did your perspective change? It must have changed. Like when you came back to Ghana, right? You said you came back when again?
March
of 20...
This year.
Wow. Yeah. So you coming back, has your perspective changed on the country? And wait, and you never came back this whole time? You were up there, or were you coming and going?
No, just for vacation. You know, dirty December and stuff, just chilling.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so now you've been back a couple months now, right?
Yeah, like 5 months.
Like 5 months. Has your perspective changed on the country? And if it has, how has it changed? Or is it the same as you coming back for
I think every year Ghana is changing. I mean, unless you choose not to see it. But Ghana is changing, even infrastructure-wise, you can see. Also in terms of human resource, right, or human capital. I can see more youth getting educated and stuff, right? And I think also in terms of business-wise, I can see different companies trying to take a chance on Africa and stuff. So I think for me, even before moving, I saw Africa to be maybe in the next 50 years, half a century, we will own the market in terms of human capital because we have the youngest population and then we have access to all the raw materials and stuff as well. So manufacturing, even though right now it's in China or Asia, we are just waiting for our time for the shift to come here. And so if you pay attention, you see the shift, right? And so when I came, my expectations were not that high already. And I lived most of my entire life in Ghana, 22 years before moving for 8 years. So there's no way I'll say, well, now I feel more American than, I'm still Ghanaian, 22 years, more than 8 years American, right? And so I was used to, the finessing, trying to work with Ghanaians. I was used to all that stuff. People overcharging you. I was open to all that stuff already. So it wasn't like, it wasn't like a surprise and stuff. And so for me, I saw the change on a positive level more than, the country's not moving forward. It's not true. It's moving forward.
How were you received when you got back? Like, was it the same? Was it, oh, you're back? Oh, Kofi's back? Or, hey, Bruni, or how was it for you?
For me, you can barely tell if I live in the US or not. Because I don't have I don't know. The people that I was working with on my house, some of them don't believe I travel because I still show up on the construction site, like a Ghanaian hustler, flip-flops and stuff, right? And you say, a typical American, they'll have face towel on their
sweating all over the place.
And they'll have their sneakers with a swag. You know what I mean? I'm not like that. So unless I tell you, you wouldn't know. But I think people can still tell you are not from here, or you haven't been here for a while. And so it was hard for me to explain to people, hey, me a Ghanaian, like I can see it. You are overcharging me. And so sometimes people will say, oh, this is 20 cedi, but I know it's 10 cedi. It's because they can tell I haven't lived here for long, right? And so it was hard for me to accept the fact that, hey, I'm still a Ghanaian, but they are treating me like, a Bruni type of living and stuff. So yeah.
Do you see that changing?
No, I don't care.
I mean, I know you probably don't care, but do you see it changing? Like, I have this theory that when enough of us come down, I feel like it wouldn't be a new thing anymore. I feel like we're still in the space where not enough diasporans are coming home and making enough noise about that for it to be normal. Like, oh, well, he just came from the States. It's 10 cities. Do you see that changing, or do you see that just being...
No, it will never change. Let me tell you why. Even if we have every African in the diaspora coming back, it will never change. The reason is not, the problem is not us, it's not them. It's our market, right? The way we do business, it's an open market type of business, right? And so with an open market, every business owner can decide how much they want to charge you. Compared to if you go to Melcom, right? There's no way you can negotiate, right? And ask for a reduction on a specific product. The price is fixed. And so you go and you just buy, you just pay and go, right? But on the open market, on the local market, you don't have that choice or you don't have that option. You have to go back and forth. And so they decide to price you high, and then you are forced to negotiate. And so until we decide to shift the way we do business to a more structured or formal way of deciding pricing, there's no way this...
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, if, let's say, for instance, for me, if I start a business, it's going to be fixed prices. If enough of us come down and this becomes the norm, like, in my mind, I'm thinking, well, the local businesses will look at it like, man, I sell my tomatoes and I fluctuate the prices, but no one's buying them because everyone's going here because the prices are stable. Do you think if enough of us come down and start these businesses and move in a structured form or format, do you think that would change some of the local practices?
Definitely, it would change. And I think also, so I went to Kumasi, right? And whilst I was in the bus coming back, just to answer your question with that event, there was this guy, he was talking about herbal medicine. And so in Ghana, one medicine can cure like 20 diseases.
Right.
And so he was like, oh, charcoal can cure cancer.
Right.
I was like, what? And after everything, people were buying the product, right? And so I was just sitting there and I was like, this is not true. This is miseducation.
Right.
And then I felt, well, if you don't like it, why don't you also one day, whilst you're on these public transportations, why don't you also get up and talk about things you want to see improve, right, in Ghana, right? And so, for example, with what you're saying, I can maybe one day say on a trip to Kumasi, just say, hey, driver, give me 30 minutes in the bus. I just want to share my message, right? Just like the pastors do,
right?
And then you start educating them about how they can focus on trying to do business on a fixed pricing, trying to make sure, okay, we have a standard pricing for this and this. This is what it will do for your business. I think the best way to approach this is through education. Right? And so if there's more education, I think the local people will also see, okay, well, it makes sense. Let's try and do it that way.
Right.
Versus, because sometimes when you come back and we, the diaspora, we do business, they see us as a competition, right? And they just don't like us that much.
Right.
They see you as, oh, you have the money and you think you can bully us with your money.
Right.
And so the best way to empower them is through education.
Okay.
And they will take that information and just like make the change. You don't have to hold their hand and help them do it.
Right. Okay. So you running your businesses, you're still running them now while you're in Ghana, correct? Okay. So with Impala, how's that going as far as business?
So this is just the MVP, right?
What's MVP?
Like minimum viable product.
Okay.
Right? It's just saying, well, at least we are building something to a point where it can be useful to our customers. Like it's not like the full product, but like it's to a level where somebody can use it. Right. So that's the MVP. And so MVP, we are just saying, well, it will make sense for us to incorporate the business and start like trying to go hard on the marketing if we have 100 paying customers. So that's just like trying to use that as a proof of concept to say, well, let's go and see if we can get 100. If 100 people can pay for the software, then that should be a good evidence that, hey, if you go out there and go hard, maybe 1,000 people will do it.
Okay. And how are you promoting in Ghana?
So far through TikTok, I think that's where we, So through TikTok and Instagram, and so I try to post videos about the application and talk more about it. And so we have like 20-something users, but only 2 paid users.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So I know this app, I'm sure it's not restricted to Ghana, right? Are you restricting it to Ghana for now?
Yes. So I built it to, sometimes you have to be. We decided to build it for everyone to use it, but it wouldn't make sense.
Right.
When I came to Ghana, I realized since I'm here, I have to focus on the Ghanaian market.
Right.
And so now I've just tailored everything to the Ghanaian market. If you live outside Ghana, you can still use it, but I'm not trying to market it to people outside.
But if they end up jumping on it and using it, then
that's fine. But you realize most of the features are tailored to Ghanaian market.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have a couple questions here I never asked. I just want to make sure I cover them too. Let me see real quick. Okay, another thing. Customer service in Ghana. How do you feel about customer service in Ghana? Being exposed to the U.S. and how the customer service is there compared to here, how do you see it?
Well, I think Ghanaians don't do, I wouldn't use all Ghanaians.
Right.
In general, I think Ghanaians don't do business. They're hustling.
Right.
And so because they're hustling, they don't put thought into the way they treat their customers.
Right.
And so it's like they are doing you a favor. Right? And so you can buy a product, and even when you have an issue and you complain, they don't listen.
Right.
they try to do back and forth with you. And so I think based on my personal experience, Ghanaian business owners don't have any thoughts in or on how they can maintain a good relationship with their customers.
Right.
And so I'll say it's just fully neglected when it comes to like customer service. It doesn't exist.
Right.
I've been to different countries, and I'll compare it to other African countries versus Europe.
Right.
I went to Tanzania, and even with the way, and I'm talking about the hospitality industry, like hotels and stuff, the way the hotels will treat you,
Right.
you see the value for your money.
Right.
Right. Even if you spend $20 per night hotel, they still give you like the best treatment.
Right.
In Ghana, you can sleep at Kimpiski for half $1,000, and they will still not care that much, right?
Right.
You don't get. I've been to Lancaster, I've been to all those big hotels,
Right.
and it's like they treat you like you're just a regular person, or
Right.
they don't care. Like
Right.
whether you like it or not, we know you will come to us.
here
That
anyway.
kind of vibe, right?
Right.
So I think that kind of culture doesn't exist.
Right.
Where let's prioritize treating our customers the best.
Right. Right.
It doesn't exist at all.
I'm listening to what Impala is, and
Mm-hmm.
it seems to me you're actually tackling that situation.
Yes,
It's
that's
almost like you're not directly saying it,
Mm-hmm.
but you're just like, hey, you know what? You have to keep up with your customers.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, just check on them.
Yeah.
How about a coupon?
Yeah.
How about, so it's like you're doing it without actually saying
it.
So it's almost like what you said. Instead of standing up on that bus
Mm-hmm.
and preaching to them,
Mm-hmm.
you're like, okay, here's a tool, right? If this is not a part of, let's say, your business acumen, why don't you just try this? Use this product.
Mm-hmm.
So is that where that's coming from?
Yeah. And I mean, just think about it in this way. So let's say I sell high ticket product, right?
Right.
So for the traveling industry, somebody has to pay maybe $5,000 for a vacation, right?
Right.
And sometimes when you run your ads, they are not booking right away.
Right.
Nobody will just see $5,000 package and book.
Right.
They will likely reach out for more information. And so, they'll reach out and they'll get all the information. And this is where the customer relationships get you the money.
Right.
And so what I do is when I run my ads, we spend about $20,000 on
Right.
Facebook ads.
Mm-hmm.
And so when we spend this amount of money, we get like an influx of like leads.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes like 1,000 people,
Wow.
right?
Right.
1,000 people will fill out the form, they need information.
Right.
So with these 1,000 people, you don't know who booked the trip and who
Right.
not.
Right.
And so sometimes you call them, hey, this is Kofi from Africa Travelers. You said you wanted to travel. I'm just following up. You have some questions for me? We go through that whole process.
Right.
And they tell you, I think I'm not ready. And some will also tell you, well, maybe check back with me in a month time. I'm going through maybe some few surgeries.
Right.
When I'm done, I'll be ready to travel.
Okay.
Now think about this. You have 1,000 people,
Right.
and you call all of them. Every single person will tell you, call me next week. This person will tell you 1 year time, 2 months, 3 months. How do you even memorize
Remember who,
when,
right.
who, and what you talked about?
Right.
And so where you get them to give you their money is trying to create a relationship between you and them.
Right.
And so let's say you tell me to call you next 2 weeks. You are going through a surgery process. So when I call you next week, on the application, you can go click on their profile, their name.
Right.
It takes you to their profile. You create a task, and then you type, going through a surgery, call back.
Right.
And then you schedule the time, right? 2 weeks from now.
Mm-hmm.
And so 2 weeks from now, the application will send you a reminder.
Wow.
Call XYZ. You see the tax going through surgery. So when I call you, hey, Kofi, this is maybe Abena from Africa Travelers. How are you doing? Oh, I'm fine. How's the surgery?
Right.
How's the surgery going?
Right.
And then the moment you talk about the surgery, they
Right.
feel, oh, wow, you remember.
Remembered.
Yeah,
Right.
I mean, you really think about me that
Right.
much, right?
Right.
And then you guys will spend almost like 3 minutes talking about the surgery.
Right.
What that does for your business and you and the person is they start trusting you.
Right. Builds a rapport.
It builds a rapport, And so at the end of the day, it takes about 3 or 4 follow-ups, and they are ready to give you the money.
Wow. Okay. And that's basically what you're inadvertently teaching.
Sales.
Right, sales.
Sales.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
sales.
So let me ask you this. Have you thought about maybe visiting some of the universities? Because there's a lot of youth that this might be a little prejudiced, but I feel like our generation is a little burnt. We're stuck in our ways, and really it's the youth that are coming up that can utilize a lot of the tech and I guess this type of direction.
Yeah.
Have you thought about maybe visiting Legon and some of the secondary schools to start implementing maybe some of these
things?
Yeah, into the
yeah.
curriculums?
So I have highly, extremely successful friends.
Okay.
Right? These guys are extremely smart,
Right.
extremely successful, and we've thought about these things, but not on the tangent you are directing me to,
Right.
but mostly on like programming.
Right.
So most of us are in tech, so we want to teach, go through secondary schools and teach them how to program, and all that stuff. But what you're saying is a game changer. To go to the universities, talk them through how to do like proper business,
Right.
Educate them about the new tools on the market,
Right.
how to use those tools. Because till now, most business owners, I'm just making an assumption using the word most, but I can assume that most Ghanaian business owners are not exposed to ChatGPT and AI, right? And so because they are not exposed, they are still doing business in the manual process.
Right.
But in general, change is very difficult. So even though these tools are available, when you approach the business owners to tell them, hey, do you know you can do so much efficiently with this tool?
Right.
And they say, yeah, it makes sense and all that stuff. But then for them to eventually move to that system is extremely difficult. So it takes a lot of massaging, following up, trying to keep pushing it until they get it.
Right. Okay.
So
you're focused on mainly the businesses that are already in existence.
Yeah.
Right now.
Yeah, right now. But I mean, I think with time I'll be able, because I love teaching.
Right.
Teaching is I'll say it's my hobby, right?
Okay.
I can teach and teach so well. It's because of the way I learn. When I'm learning, I try not to memorize. I try to understand
what you're learning.
And so because I learn to understand when I'm teaching, I try to decompose, break it down to make sure you understand. So I love teaching. And so that's something I will eventually do, like you're suggesting, go to the universities, secondary schools, and kind of like try to teach them, expose them to those things.
Also, do you believe that someone has to travel outside of Ghana to, the trajectory or where
to make it?
Right, where we would like to see Ghana be, an advanced, functioning society, right? Such as what we've been exposed to in the West. Do you think someone will have to leave Ghana to be able to impact Ghana, or it has to happen from here?
And so, okay, I'll look in the camera to say this.
Okay.
Even if I'm telling you not to travel, you will not listen to my advice. I'm telling you, because I've been in their shoes before.
Right.
I think back in 2017, if somebody had to tell me, don't do it, stay in Ghana, it will work, I'll tell them, Masa. You don't want me to go to. But my advice would be, traveling would not be the ultimate solution to all your problems.
Right.
But I mean, aside just moving from Ghana to Europe or USA, traveling is something that will teach you a lot, right? I think it's very important to just one day, just move out of your small town and spend maybe a week or 3 days somewhere in another region, even if you don't plan on moving outside Ghana.
Right.
Now, if you have the dream of moving outside Ghana, I'll say traveling is for somebody who has a plan.
Right. Wants to broaden their horizons.
Plan, and the plan is to go and learn. Right. Aside learning, I don't think traveling has any direct benefit for for you.
Right.
And so if you have the intent to move to UK or USA just to go learn, I think it will help you also identify some of the problems back home, and you will be compelled to come back and solve them.
Right.
And so me, I wouldn't discourage anyone not to travel. I'll say, hey, go find out.
Right.
I wish every single Ghanaian can travel. And then when they finally travel, they will realize Ghana is not that bad.
Right.
I've been to so many countries, and I can tell you, Ghana is good.
Right.
Ghana is good.
Right.
Ghana is good. It's a peaceful place. I'll say, in my opinion, the best, based on my experience, the best place to live.
Okay.
Socially, everything.
Right. Okay. Now, this thing with Togolese artisans, Ghanaian artisans.
Ghanaian, yeah.
What's up? What's your
yeah. So if you watch my TikTok, I like to stir the pot. I like to create confusion sometimes by making certain utterances, but it's just for us to sometimes think beyond what we like to hear.
Right.
Right. And so my statement saying, well, hire Togolese artisans versus Ghanaians is just saying, when you go to any country where there are immigrants,
right,
their work ethics is just different. And so a typical Ghanaian carpenter, right, will basically not do the job the way a Togolese carpenter would do the job.
Right.
The reason is not just, let's say, I think the reason is just based on the fact that the Togolese has a different perception of doing the same job, because they are here to work, make the money, and go do something back home, right? So they are thinking about pleasing you so much. They are thinking about making sure you can always, you can retain them and use them and refer them and do this. The Ghanaian guy is not thinking about that. They sometimes they see, you this small boy, I should come work on your house for you. Who are you? I'm older than you.
Right.
They create all this egos, perception in their head, and then they do a shabby work for you, knowing you can't do me nothing. I mean, what else can you? But the Togolese is scared that maybe you can arrest them, something. So they tend to pour their all when it comes to working. So this is just purely business, not something I have against
the culture or anything.
The culture or anything. Yeah.
Now, where can you find Togolese artisans?
I think referrals.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there's no centralized.
Yeah,
location?
there's no centralized place to find them.
Okay.
For me, I was just lucky enough to chance on them because somebody referred them to me.
Right.
And then I just saw their work ethics, and I was like, oh shit, this is different from working with Ghanaians.
Are there a lot of them here in Ghana?
Yeah, many of them. Yeah.
I didn't really know that.
And right now, I think some of them, they've already integrated well.
Right.
They can speak the language and stuff.
Right.
But if you trace their background, but I always say go for those that just moved to Ghana because they are not influenced by
the
yeah. Because the Ghanaian guys will just mess them up after 3 years.
Okay. they become more Ghanaian.
Yeah, more Ghanaian, and then they start doing the same thing.
All right. So this one right here, let me ask you this. There's a question here, and somebody gave me this question to ask you.
Okay.
It says you support Baumia's credit system proposal.
Yeah.
And why?
So I think.
And when you said a credit system proposal, like in the U.S.
Yeah. So Baumia is just trying to say, let's create an environment where we can prove our creditworthiness, right? And what that would do for people that can manage their money well is that they will have access to more money.
More money.
Which is good for business.
Absolutely.
There's a reason why when you go to the bank right now to ask for a loan, and you get a high interest rate, like 25% right now in Ghana, is because it's extremely risky to loan, for the banks to loan money, right? And so if we have a system where the banks can actually track your financial history and know, okay, well, if we give you $100,000 or 100,000 Ghana cedi, you can manage the money well, then at least interest rates will come down.
Right.
And so that's where I was coming from.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I agree with that as well, because sometimes, even if you're building a business, you might need more capital.
Yep.
And if you have an institution that can actually give it to you,
Yep.
and then which can prove, okay, this person will pay back based on these factors.
Yeah.
I don't see why they wouldn't do that.
Just like American business. So right now, if I need 100,000,
Right.
I can just go straight to Chase,
Right.
and they'll give it to me,
Right.
because I've been able to show that history that okay, our business is making enough. We've been able to maintain this amount of money in the bank for this period of time, and our credit score and stuff. So,
okay. So we're gonna wrap it up. But if you had some advice, I want you to give the viewers some advice. So you lived here. Wait, are you gonna go back soon? Or
No. I mean, I don't plan unless I'm still going to school online.
Okay.
Arizona State.
Okay.
Because they have like full online.
Okay. Are you a resident now, or are you're still on a visa?
Resident where?
In the States.
No.
So you're still using visa?
No. I have an American passport.
You got a passport?
Yeah,
okay, so you
yeah,
naturalized.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
okay, cool.
I have an American
so you
passport.
Go anytime you want.
So, but I don't. I mean, unless maybe, after Trump, right? But I don't plan on going back anytime soon. Yeah.
Okay. What's your advice to some of the people watching? Because I feel like you, opposed to me, will have more of a connection because you grew up here.
Yeah.
You had enough time here, and then you've been in the States long enough to see what we saw.
Yeah.
And now you're back.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of times it's hard for people to come back home because they're like, oh, what am I going to do for work? This, and that. You've shown that you can go and come back. And then actually do something to actually stay here. So what would be your advice to the diasporans specifically that would want to come home, or maybe they're thinking of coming home? What would be your advice to them?
I think that's very difficult to answer. In terms of advice,
Right.
Because I think, the direction you want to take, it all depends on where you find yourself, like on the curve, right?
Okay.
And so, if you are watching this video and you're in the diaspora and you want to move to Ghana,
Right.
If the goal is if you want to move,
Right.
I cannot convince you to do it.
Right.
And I know there's a bunch of them out there that hate Ghana so much.
Why do you think that is?
Well, because here reminds them of maybe their pain and
Right.
stuff. And so you kind of develop this, hatred for where you come from.
Right.
But I think regardless of how far you can go,
Right.
you will always be a Ghanaian,
Right.
To the white people, you will always be a black man.
Nigga.
Yeah. And so whether you want to accept it or not,
Right.
I think this is your home. And
Right.
if shit hits the fan, the only place you can come back to will be here.
Right.
My advice would be just try to give back to your country. Even if you don't have any family member here,
Right.
You have your bloodline here.
Right.
And so the only way we can change the continent to be, the Western countries, is if we can just intentionally invest or come back and do something.
Right.
Maybe I was able to pack my stuff and move physically here. Maybe you might not be able to do so because
Right.
of so many reasons, right? But as long as you have the intent of investing back and trying to give back, I think we can all do our part in different ways.
Right.
But in a nutshell, I'll say, if the goal for you is to move here physically, take the chance, take the risk. When you come back, you will never know. Because at the end of the day, we have a growing economy, and everything you see in the West, you can just take the idea. You don't have to invent anything.
Right.
You don't have to even think too deep.
Right.
Take the same thing you see there, come here, just try to adapt it to the local system,
Right.
and you have a great product, as long as you are patient enough to wait
Right.
for the right time to grow. And so I can see the best opportunities here for us as Black people, if we come back and invest versus staying in the West. There's nothing you can do as a black man in the West
Right.
that the white man hasn't already done.
Right.
And so you have your best chance here.
Here.
And so just come back. Don't be a chicken and you know.
Yeah.
I mean, if you think you know you've made it. And just to add this, I think I'm you know, I like to always challenge myself and tell people, if you think you are smart enough to make money in the West,
Right.
you know, prove it by coming here
down
to make money here.
Right.
Right? Because if you take in the Western world, they've already, you know, structured everything. So if you take anybody and you fix them in the system, they can make some living, right?
Right.
Even the government can put you on affordable housing, Section 8,
Right.
you can get by.
Right.
But if you think you're smart enough, come back here and
Yeah,
prove.
Bema Pa.
Yeah, Bema, come here and prove it. If you
If
think you're Odogu,
Right.
don't just come dirty December and you know go
Yeah.
sleep at Embassy Garden and think
Right.
you got it, or you know
Yeah.
like you are the Don.
Right.
Move and prove.
Right.
So you can
Hear that? Move and prove.
move
I'ma steal
and
that one.
move and prove. Say,
prove it.
yeah, I told my guys I'm moving, and I'll prove to them I can be here
Right.
and still ball just like them.
That's
You know,
right.
we can still go toe on toe. We can
Toe
do
to toe.
everything. You know,
Shit,
they can't
shit.
show me nothing.
Right.
If they want to go to Greece, I'll stay here and go to
Go to Greece with them.
You know, and do everything with them. So,
Right.
yeah, and stuff. But yeah, that's basically.
So there you have it, y'all. You're here with Kofi, my what do you call that? Is that my namesake?
What?
Kofi?
Yeah.
I'm Kofi too.
Yeah, Kofi.
Yeah,
Yeah,
this is Kofi, also known as Along with God.
Yeah, along with God. So I mean, on social media, if you want to follow me, you can just check my Instagram out, my TikTok, and
Is it just all one word, Along with God, or
along with God, everything together and stuff. Yeah, but I prefer to change. Sometimes I do change my social media a lot, but I'll say just follow me. We can have conversations. I have different mindsets.
Right.
And sometimes I want to talk too much beyond business, you know, how we can go past our comfort zone and take a risk and do more. Because I can see that in Ghana, the youth, they are scared to try different things.
Yeah.
And so we have the potentials, we are smart. I mean, I've been in the same classroom with white Indians and stuff, and I don't see why we can't build our country just like them, because they are not doing anything different.
Right.
You know, we all get the same GPA, we do this and we do all that stuff. So we have smart guys here, and we can build companies to the scale of Google and Nvidia, Amazon and stuff. And also another thing is there's no funding, right? And so if you're in the diaspora, you want to come back and invest in businesses. And I think the salt, right? We wanted to touch on the salt business.
Tell me about your salt business.
We almost missed that part.
I almost missed that one.
Yeah, and so before moving, I made a video. I think the video about moving to Ghana after 7 years or something, right? That video went viral. About 200K people viewed the video.
Wow.
And so, and I said, I'm trying to invest into Ghanaian businesses. And so, trust me, almost like 1,000 people inboxed me, right? About, oh, I have this business. Can you invest? I have this business. And so, I mean, I didn't open the messages. It was too much for me to read through the message. I'm like, whatever. Like you mentioned. So there was this guy. He sent me a message on TikTok and then went straight to my Instagram and sent me a message. So, I mean, on Instagram, you know, because of, you know, sometimes the bodies, you know, so I always check my
make sure you keep up with them.
Yeah, make sure. So I was checking. And then I saw the message, so I read it, and I was like, well, this is one of them. And so I have a friend in the UK. He's into like investment banking.
Right.
And so I sent him the screenshot. I'm like, hey, what do you think? You know, just I didn't have any reason. I just sent it to him. And then he was like, oh yeah, salt is an essential product. So, I mean, I don't think you will lose any money if you give it a try. So I was like, okay, fine. So I responded back to the guy. We had a few conversations, and you know, they don't have any like sales, nothing. So I told him, now your business is not enticing enough for me to put my money in. So you guys should go and work on something, bring something worth for me to get convinced. And so I think after 3 weeks, they secured a distribution deal, which is now they don't have to spend money marketing the salt. All what they have to do is produce the salt to the distributor, and then the distribution company will take the salt and just give it to like all the retail companies. And so they showed me the contract. It was 3 years, and it's like, okay, fine. So we talked, and I wired them 200,000 Ghana city for like a percentage in the company. And so we were able to, now we are in Accra Mall, ShopRite, all the big retailers you can find it there, which is Wisdom Salts, right? And then I think 6 months later, I was able to get my friend to come in, the guy from the UK. He also came in with his friend to invest. So that's how they were able to secure the funding.
See, and I love that, because not only did you come back, with your app, but you're also investing into the local businesses. And I think that's for a lot of diasporans, we don't really think about that part of it, because we have businesses here that could use the money, and because like I look at Ghana like a sheet of paper that has like a drawing in the corner. The rest of the sheet is there. So wherever you put your picture, it's gonna be probably the only picture there, or one of few pictures, right? And you'll meet a guy that's, let's say, doing a salt business. Somebody else could start another salt business. There's enough room in the market for it, right?
So there are so many salt products, but we're still making money.
And then people make money over there, and they never think of like coming down and maybe.
And let me tell you, one thing I hate about Ghanaians and people from the diaspora is everybody's trying to do real estate. Like it just pisses me off. It gets on my nerves. Everybody's trying to build a house to sell, a house to sell. And I have this mindset, investing in real estate is for like rich people. One, you only decide to invest in real estate when you are ready to diversify, like your portfolio, right? So you, the guy in, let's say, New York, where, die your $100,000, and the first thing you do is buy land and build a house. There's no way you're getting close to becoming financially stable or free, right? And so I think real estate is for dummies, people who don't want to think and build real businesses. And so you become a dummy when you get to a point, you throw money and it makes you more money, right? And so instead of us to just take our money and trying to dump it into real estate, it's not really helping the country. We should try and build real businesses. And sometimes if you don't want to build a real business, look for existing ones and just push them.
Money into it.
Just from my few experience, trying to talk to small business owners, like just somebody doing a bakery and stuff. I think I've noticed they make a lot of money. They just need small push. Like most of the businesses that we've interacted, they make a lot of money. You might not really see it, because maybe when you're outside looking, you think, okay, this is just like small side business. But when you go into their books, they are making huge profit. Just from selling Impala to them, I realized the small businesses are making
money. Making money. And I think, like that's something that you touched on, something that I always tell people, like, especially when you're young and you're abroad and you make that money, that 10,000, 20, 30,000. To buy land is crazy, because you're locking up your purchases. It's like you have the energy now to really do something. And you're basically locking the money up in land and cement. And then most of the time, they don't have all the money to build a house.
And you see, the crazy thing is, instead of doing 2 bedrooms, they want 5, 6, 7. Right? And then it will take them 15 years to build that. And then when you go to New York, you go to the Bronx, they sleep in a small room, right? Eating trash, and they don't take good care of themselves. They spend 25 years trying to live within the image of me back Ghana, or when I come back home, I'll be able to live in this mansion. And then when you come back home, you're already weak and old enough. You can't even take care of the whole place. So, I would say invest your money in businesses, start businesses. When there's enough cash flow,
Right.
you can go buy a house at cantonment.
Right.
The lands are not going anywhere.
Right.
It will be there.
Right.
When you have enough money, a $1 million house will not be too expensive
for you. Perfect. I love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, it's not a price. You just don't have money.
You don't have the money, right?
You don't have money. Jeff
Right.
Bezos just did a wedding, right?
Right.
Venice.
Yeah, in Venice.
You know, rented a place for
that was dope.
$48 million for 3 days.
Mhm.
So there's a lot of money
Right.
around the world. Elon Musk alone has almost close to 300 billion.
I think it's almost 400 now,
400
right?
billion. So meaning there's so much money.
Right.
You just have to get it from, people's pocket.
Right.
You just have to convince them to say,
Just-
take it.
Right.
Take the money.
Yeah.
It's
I
not
like
too
that.
hard.
The guy's sharp, y'all. He's sharp.
I always say this: the easiest way. Making money is very easy. I tell people all the time,
Right.
and they think maybe I'm just like chatting or doing something.
Right.
Like I think walking from here to Accra is extremely difficult. Passing your wasi is extremely difficult. Pounding even fufu on Sundays
Right.
is extremely difficult.
Right.
Making money is not. It's not.
I like hearing that.
Yeah,
I
and
like hearing that.
even today, there are so many ways, and I think when you figure out the formula,
Right.
you just have to plug in the variables or the values, and
Right.
then you just.
And I think, let me ask you this. Do you think going overseas or going abroad, it's definitely, I'm sure it broadened your horizons and,
Yeah.
it widened your perspective.
Mhm.
Do you think you saying that now is because you got that opportunity or you always felt this way?
I think we lack continuous education. For
Okay.
me, I can say this for a fact. Even if I never went to school and I never traveled, I would have still made money. Maybe not to the extreme like now,
Right.
but I'll still be doing extremely well in Ghana.
Right.
The reason is I like to read, right? And so even in my business, when I was fired to scale the business, I watched videos on marketing, and I think I watched about 100 different YouTube videos,
Right.
and some of them, I think the average length of the video was an hour.
Right.
All right. So I kept watching the video. It didn't make sense to me. I kept watching. But what changed everything for me was a 13-minute video, right? After hundreds of videos, right? And so continuous learning and education.
What video was that? You don't mind?
It's by this guy, Alex Hamosi.
Alex Mosey.
You've ever come across this page?
No.
Okay. So he said there are three kind of sellers, right? People who are gifted, they are natural sellers, right? They can sales guy. They know how to talk. They know how to convince you.
Right.
And then we have people who go to school to learn how to sell.
Right.
And then we have like the last person, which is they just try and by luck, and then they get sales here and there.
Right.
And so at the end of the day, if you find yourself to not be a gifted one, you don't have the formal education on how to sell, then you are the right person for this video. And so what he said is, if you want to make more money and more sales, just focus on volume, right? You don't have to be good at sales, just volume. And so what I was able to deduce from what he said was, in our line of business, we were making around $50,000 from, I think about 50 customers.
Okay.
Like, so at the end of the year, we were talking to 50 people on the phone. And I think about 100, let me use 100 people on the phone to make $50,000.
Right.
And so if you think about the ratio, you realize, okay, for us to make 100,000, at least let's talk to 200 people.
Right.
Right. And so I don't need to come up with any unique sales pitch or approach. I just need to talk to more people. And so that year I said, well, let's run an ad from January to December without turning the ad off, and talk to the people. And so we gained 1,000 people, and we were able to convert 200.
Wow.
So do the math.
Right. 200,000.
No, I'm just saying.
I'm just thinking
Yeah, I'm
1,000
just
per
saying.
person.
Yeah, so thousand people we converted 200, and our average is around like $3,000.
Oh, wow.
You know, and so if you do the math, that was, you know, and so right now it's just a simple formula that I use.
Right.
Whenever I want to make more money, I talk to more people. It's very simple.
Makes sense. And that's another thing too. I feel like we learn some of these techniques abroad. And when we come down, like you said, that education component is definitely important.
Yeah.
So like having these spaces, like I try to educate either through the person I'm interviewing or myself. And I think just, you know, just as a word of advice for people coming down, I'm realizing, you know, we deal with people that don't know a lot.
Yeah.
A lot of things we know.
No, yeah.
And I feel like it's the onus is on us to start educating them as well.
Yeah.
So you definitely did a great job. You educated me on some things too.
Oh,
so,
I mean,
I definitely want to thank you for that too. So I'm gonna have to steal some of this guy's stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But thank you for coming. It was great talking to you.
Thanks.
You're brilliant. I'm definitely gonna be following your, you know, your lead. I'm gonna be calling you too.
Yeah, I mean, nobody is smart. I think we are all learning.
Yeah, we're all learning, but some of us are smarter than others.
I don't agree.
You don't agree? It's all right.
I mean, I think smart is subjective. So yeah,
I could agree with that.
Yeah, because I mean, you might be smart in playing basketball, but when it comes to calculus, maybe I know more than you, right?
Okay. So maybe you're smart at making more money.
Yeah, smart at making more money. Yeah.
So it's
relative. Yeah, depending on So, but you know, with education, right? With school, that's why I always say school doesn't represent intelligence.
No, it doesn't.
Right? Because you know, let's say we learn calculus, right? And then they give us assignment, examination.
Right.
We write calculus. At the end of the day, our brains are different, right? So let's say you are the type of person that you have good retentive memory. You can, you just have to go through one session and you can record every single thing. Maybe it has to take me 2 months for me to keep practicing to also grab the same thing, right? But because school is set up in such a way where your grades will determine whether you're smart or not, you don't really get to see the actual smart people until after school. Then the world will tell us who is smart.
I think school basically teaches you how to follow instructions.
Yeah.
And then when you're done, you have someone who's gonna hire and say, well, he followed instructions very well.
Well,
come here, let me teach you this.
Let me teach you how to do this.
I don't think school makes you smart. I just feel like sometimes it's your natural, ability with your, school and your experiences. So.
Yeah, and if you're the type of person that follows too much instructions, you will never be successful. Like sometimes if you like to, you are too obedient. Like, okay, do this, you do. Sit here, you sit. Follow this path, you follow. Do this. Sometimes you have to be stubborn. That's what I did to my parents. I was a stubborn guy. If one of my mates, if my schoolmates are watching, they will tell you, every single teacher hated me because maybe I wouldn't sign up for the class because I think it doesn't make sense. I wouldn't do this, I wouldn't show up, I would do this. So they thought it was stubbornness, right? I was just trying to follow my natural instinct, what is good, what is not good and stuff, right? And so I didn't fit into that kind of school path and system and stuff, But try to do things that don't follow the rules. I'm not saying go rob somebody, but I'm just saying, don't follow the rules. Yeah. Sometimes
I didn't say it, y'all.
Yeah, sometimes do something sketchy a little bit. It teaches you something.
Bend the rules.
Yeah, bend the rules. Find ways and means to get things to work and do it. Don't be too scared. Sometimes you can even. This is the extreme. You can even go to jail to learn some lessons. So you come back and become a whole different person because you made a mistake, right? And so being scared to make a mistake will never get you to anywhere. I prefer to always commit, like make a mistake and then get some feedback from the mistake. And then I'm like, okay, this is what to do next. Versus I want to wait and get it done.
Got it.
Perfectly.
Got it. I agree with you 100%.
Yeah.
Just
if you leave me, we'll talk all day. So let's wrap it up. Yeah.
All right. So listen, this is Roots and Routes. I'm KP, aka Prince, aka Ghana Boy. Shit. I'm with Kofi, aka Alone with God.
Yeah.
So check him out. I'm gonna leave his stuff. Also, I'm gonna put you on the Afro Tango app.
Okay.
Right? So we'll figure out how he's gonna be on there.
Yeah. What's that?
So the Afro Tango app, what we're doing is we're connecting the diaspora to other diasporans, businesses, events here on the ground in Ghana. It's for all of Africa, but like just like you, we're in Ghana, so we're focused
starting from Ghana. Okay.
Right. So like, let's say you have even some investors that are abroad. They're looking for businesses to maybe connect to.
Oh, okay. So guess what? Even before, yeah, okay, that's good, because I had this idea that I was telling somebody to do is basically the same thing that you're doing. I'm saying people in the diaspora are looking for maybe business to invest in. They just need a platform where if you have a business in Ghana and you need funding, just put your business up there. And they will try it. So basically, you're doing it.
That's exactly what we're doing.
Yeah.
And it's for different things too. Like if you're coming down, you want to know like what parties to go to. There's an event section. You just go through, figure out what parties you want to link with, meet different people, different diasporans. You know, a lot of times when we come, there's businesses that we connect to that are scams.
Oh yeah.
You know, so business will pop up. We'll vet the businesses that we have maybe some type of relationship with. So you don't have to go through
taking the risk.
Right.
Yeah,
and then you have reviews. So let's say if you put your business there, I can review it, other people review it, you know. So it's basically to kind of give us a soft landing when we come down.
Okay.
So I'm gonna put you on there just so you know people.
Put me on there. Put me on there.
Definitely. So Roots and Routes, I'll holler at you guys later. This was a great interview. I'm gonna chop it up, edit it, and you're gonna see what's next. All right, have a great day, guys.
All right, thanks.
That's a real me when I'm fucked up. That's a real me, baby.